Okay then, time to review the latest addition to ready to run rolling stock in TT120 in the UK, which is the Peco wagon. You can see here in its packaging, hasn't yet been taken out of the packaging. Nothing particular, any great excitement on the box. We're told on the underside it is a 7-plank open wagon. This is a BR, British Rail liveried wagon. And we'll just open it and have a few comparisons between this and the existing Hornby wagons. First of all, it is similar, it's familiar in terms of the cardboard packaging, the outer packaging at least, similar to the Peco TT120 track packaging. It's sort of a very cardboardy cardboard. It's a bit, it looks like a recycled cardboard, and that's all to the good, but perhaps slightly incongruous in that it then comes in this hard plastic case. Now I think this actually makes it feel quite premium by comparison to the Hornby usual blister pack style. It is a presentation box, you'd almost say, more than your usual packaging, and it is enclosed in a rather unusual manner, as you can see internally. Let's just open it up. So it is held in place by this piece of clear tape over the top, and then the base plinth here sort of slides out of the box to give us access to the wagon. We then simply undo the tape at the bottom, take it away, and then you have your wagon. It sits this sort of dimpled base. It's not going anywhere in there, but if you have done as I've done and undone this at the base, there's also not really any way to secure it back. A smarter move on my part would have been to simply slide it off, I presume, but being a bit over-eager, didn't quite get there. First impressions are that the detail is excellent. Try and brighten up the image slightly. You can see some internal planking there. Metal wheels on what appears to be a metal axle as well. Slightly different coupling arrangement. Heard some criticism of the coupling, I'll be testing that shortly. But it is more akin to a 00 style NEM pocket where it is pushed in with a clip arrangement at the back. Whether that makes any difference or not, time will tell. I'll also check how free rolling it is in just a moment. Right, trying to see how free rolling it is, and if I just give a gentle edge just off camera, coming in from the left of your screen. Extremely so is the short answer. What I've got here is a couple of lengths of Peco FlexiTrack, and what I intend to do is just raise up one side of the track by small increments. First of all, we'll use the plinth that came with it. We'll raise that underneath both sides of the track here, see if it moves, and likewise on a slightly here, that's the lid of the box, we'll use that as our second. First of all, we'll use this, which we're fairly sure will create substantial movement, but it'll be something to occupy us for a moment or two. So let me just place the track on the elevation. What I'm going to do is include this, which is the Hornby equivalent. Excellent little wagon as well. This does have spoked wheels rather than solid disc style wheels, which the Peco version has. But beyond that, they're quite comfortable, I would say. So if I hold them both on the tracks at the end and just let them flow down past you, you should get some idea of their relative freewheeling capacities. You can see here quite a difference. They're both let go at exactly the same time on exactly the same incline, and the Peco one is indeed much more freewheeling. I'll just try that again. Sure, it was a fair test. One more time. Oops. Here it goes. At no point did I ever think the Hornby one was difficult to roll, but certainly the Peco is noticeably more free rolling. Now, let's just try it with a different wagon. This is a closed van Hornby. Let's just put them both up in the same manner. Keep them in shot so you can see I take them let go at the same time. Certainly no comparison there. And these are not even the particularly difficult runners. I'm going to change it slightly because I do think the back track has a slight advantage. It seems to curve a little bit faster. So in order to check that, let's try it again. Still perhaps less noticeable, but still clearly in favour of Peco. Try that again with the open wagon again. Certainly less noticeable, but still evident. Now, what if we try to compare it to Tanker? Now, these have a bad reputation for being particularly poor rollers. Let's see if that is justified or not. Certainly not too bad that way. Going to change the wagon, the Tanker's direction, and try it again. Nothing wrong with that either. I've now dropped the elevation. I'm going to give both wagons to the left of your screen a slight nudge. That click there was the Peco wagon running off the track. Hornby one will not sustain a roll at that elevation. Let's try it once more again for the sake of fairness. Okay, quite clear. Let's try it on the very low elevation of the plinth. See if Peco can still move at this. Not really any point of putting the Hornby one onto this, but we'll try it with the Peco one. Not off the track, but it certainly sustained a roll. Next area to test is the couplings. These couplings have come in for some criticism. I'm just going to move this along gently. They don't engage under their own weight. Given how free rolling it is, that's the middle one, I would have been surprised if it had. If I try it the other way and couple it to the Hornby one, does that make any difference? It gets closer to it, but it still isn't quite coupling. I go faster. they're coupled. No problem. I have box fan this side. See if we have the same issue on the other side of the coupling. Again, a rapid movement and they'll couple fine, but certainly not perhaps as straightforward as you would ideally like. Let me try and uncouple, which is always fun. Not too much carnage. Let's see if we move this. There we are, it's caught it there. That didn't seem to be too bad. Are the couplings actually engaged? Not quite properly, no. I can see I moved the angle of the camera down. Should just about be able to see that the couplings are not quite all the way down the way they are on this side. To give you the idea, I'll bring in the tanker. That's it straight in on the Hornby side. I think it has now settled there and there. These couplings are rather unusual. They look very ungainly at first sight, and they are perhaps on the way that they protrude from the model. But because the couplings go into each other and overlap with each other so much, they're actually much less obtrusive than the 00 scale tension lock couplings that perhaps many of us are used to. There we are. I am really quite happy with the wagon. It is slightly higher buffer level than the wagons, which I seem to remember may have been an issue between the wagons and the Hornby 08 shunter. So it could be that the Hornby wagons are too low, but I have no data to back that up. That's simply a theory. Certainly worth considering. But for just now, it all seems to work together well. They form a nice little train, and I'm happy. Final observations then. Really very comparable to the Hornby one in many ways. The coupling system certainly seems less sophisticated. I would say the interiors are also better in Hornby. You can see some of the circle marks from the mouldings in the Peco wagon. But it is much more free rolling. It's heavier and feels slightly better quality in that regard. So there's really not much between them. I've only got a very basic livery on mine, but what is there is well applied. It seems that the rivets, I would say, are more pronounced in the Hornby than on the Peco. That's probably modeller's license in both of them to some extent, depending on what you'd rather emphasize. I haven't found on my version the couplings to be a problem. I'm really quite content with them. They seem to work fine. So your mileage may vary, but certainly a worthy addition to the TT120 range, and great to have a second manufacturer backing it to this extent. So well done, Peco. It also comes in cheaper than Hornby's. That may be a significant factor if you're buying quite a few of these to make up a rake. Hope that's been of help. We look forward to more products coming out from Hornby and Peco, and it'd be great to see other manufacturers jump on the bandwagon. And we look forward to seeing what comes next. Thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed it, please do feel free to comment. It always helps me to engage with folk, to see the comments that come out. You're welcome to subscribe. These are occasional videos. If you do subscribe, you're certainly not going to get your inbox bombarded on anything like that. But thanks for watching. See you next time.